I need a big note.
Yeah.
All right, good morning again. Everybody's here, it looks like. Miracles do happen. All right, Hank, we have Bonnie. I think you met Bonnie, right? I know.
I have Bonnie with Bonnie Transport.
So, all right, let's get to the February minutes. Thanks, Ed, for doing that. Is there anybody that has any updates, changes? Fine, so does anybody want to make a motion to accept them?
I'll make a motion.
Doug first,
Second.
Deb second. No further discussion, everybody. Vote, all those in favor?
Aye.
Lane says aye too, I'm assuming.
I think it's
Any
set time
name?
and non-video, so.
Yep, I.
Yeah, she is on that, she is on that, yeah.
Yeah, so.
She's on audio room.
Oh, shoot, Dennis.
Are you talking about me?
Yeah, you're on, yeah. Don't, yeah, just,
No,
don't hit that.
don't hit that. No, that's just the, all right. I don't, there's a way to. Big
She
screen.
just has her picture, yeah, if you wanna,
Yeah, I'm camera off.
Camera.
okay, let's fan that back. All right. So at this point, we have no applicants. So the minutes are accepted. There are no, we have no new applicants, so I guess we'll step right into rail trail updates. Anyone who want to begin?
I think one, you may have noticed, I don't know if you pay attention to the contract reporter, but since our last meeting, the supervisor decided that he wanted to speed up the DOT grant that covers the restoration of the rail trail from Route 4455 to the Fordmore Road, Burn Road intersection. So essentially, he fired our design consultants, Medenbach and Eggers, and it was kind of it was a little bit at the urging of the DOT and the county who control the purse strings. They sort of said, this is not looking like it's going to be successful the way that we're going. So we've got an RFP out now to get a new design consultant, which, you know, it's moving forward, but it does mean like that design consultant selection process, that's good for a solid 6 months just to get the new designer on board. But I think this time that we'll get somebody who's more qualified to work on these federally funded DOT grants, because they really are huge administrative loads to carry. So there's a list on the DOT's website for these grants of the 7 like pre-approved design consultants. And I think we actually had the opportunity to just pick one of those, which is probably a good idea because these companies all specialize in these type of grants. But I think the DOT advised Supervisor Steckler to just put out an RFP, even if you wind up picking one of those 7, just see what that brings in. So,
Somebody that actually wants to do it, in other words.
yeah.
Instead of saying, hey, will you do it for us? And then,
There's definitely, some of the design consultants, the 7 firms, they've been reaching out to figure out, exactly what's going on. And, Barry Medenbach, I know he wants to see this program completed successfully, so he has basically, agreed to, forward, he has to do this anyway, but he's gonna forward all the information that's been developed, which is a lot. The design is essentially complete. And then also, kind of provide some consulting to get the new design consultants up to speed, so.
Nice.
Yeah.
so there's that part then about funding.
Well, the county, already doubled the funding for this program from 800,000 to 4 million 2 years ago. And that money is set aside. Sounds like it's still good. And sounds like they understand that the price could go up a bit. And they want to see this get done too, because this is becoming a key link in this Kingston to Port Jervis effort that OSI is putting forth. And, I guess that report too, if it's not out, it's going to be out within a week or so, the OSI preliminary design report for the ONW from Kingston to Port Jervis. Wow. Which is a pretty hefty endeavor.
Are you gonna get, where are they gonna put that out?
They'll do a press release and they'll put it right on their website. I would
Okay,
imagine
good.
that's what they typically do. If you just keep an eye on that, you'll see it when it comes out, but they'll put out some press releases too, I think.
We'll probably get an email, all right?
We'll hear about it one way or another when that report comes out, but that's imminent, I guess.
That's good news, maybe in a few years they can get done.
I think it's good news, they've really, Medenbach and Eggers did a great job with the design, and we have a pretty solid design. They did a good job of negotiating with Central Hudson, who owns most of the land where this section of rail trail has to go. But they haven't, the paperwork and the double, triple backup paperwork and the environmental and the historical and that stuff, they've just not been able to kind of keep up with it, is the best way I describe it. And that's part of getting the money from the feds, is doing it their way. So
Okay.
anyway, it's a big update. It's mixed news because it sets us back a few months to get a new consultant, but I think
We'll get across the finish line.
yeah.
Probably are these 7 firms like bigger firms too?
Yeah, like Barton and Judas,
Yeah.
Juan,
Do they have more staff?
yeah, Saratoga Associates, they're, these are like larger sized firms that do work statewide, rather than regional firms.
I've been down this road many times.
Yeah, some of them have, some of them kind of specialize in federal highway projects. There's a lot of money in it, not so much on the parks end, but there's a lot of federal highway money for doing like fixing up superhighways and interstates and that kind of stuff. And that's how this works. This little 1 mile section of Carriage Road, the feds look at it as like we're building a section of I-87. That's something, so.
Good.
Thanks, Hank.
Sure.
I have two items for the rail trail. One is that there's a couple limbs that are hanging over the trail itself pretty precariously. I haven't been out there in about a week, but and it's on the town side. I believe Johnny Frost has mentioned it to the appropriate person, but I'm not sure who would fix those because they're kind of dangerous when people are walking through.
Do you know where they are, Victoria?
I can send you photos. There's one that's pretty much, I would say, a 5-minute, 10-minute walk into the Wawarsing one after you exit the Ellenville side.
So just north of the sewer plant?
Correct, yeah.
Yep.
And then the other thing is that John Gavaris got a couple groups together and did clean out a good amount of tires from the rail trail. However, a lot of them are on private property, and tickets have been issued to remove them from the properties as well. That's it.
That's great. Is this the first time we've ever issued tickets for that? I feel like it might be.
Unclear. It's the first time I've asked about it.
Okay. I've never heard of tickets.
Do you know if they did it where they did that tire removal, like along which part of it?
Well, I would imagine it's by the automobile junkyard area.
Okay, closer
boat-
to the Ellenville side than the prison side.
Yes, that's my understanding, but there weren't a ton well, there were a lot on the town side of it, but there's a lot more that are in the sort of stream ditch next to the automobile junkyard.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We'll be packing a little bit for doing the sign.
Well,
Has this worked?
it looks good.
Yeah.
New Litton Park sign up.
I
The
haven't-
Lipton Park sign is up?
It is, yeah.
Oh my God, I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, it came out
Probably what, like 3 weeks now, maybe?
No,
2 weeks?
week, can I
A week and a half, yeah. Yeah, we put it up about a week.
I just happened to drive in when they were working on it, going to the transfer
2
station.
weeks to line up to track time.
It was a Thursday,
2 weeks from today,
You're right.
2 weeks ago.
so I guess it officially went up the next day, right, with the town. Came down and built the boulder. You were doing work on Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They came with their.
Yeah, the next day, but it is up.
We
So
got really good, just kudos to the highway department. The guys that came out were really helpful and enthusiastic, and they did a great job.
Yep.
We could not have done it without them. They brought a bucket truck and a small, a backhoe, so that's how we got it
yeah,
done.
Max, it's pretty heavy with all those cedar
Oh, yeah.
logs, right?
Oh, yeah, you need something to lift the thing up. And also I made contact with Mike Jetter, and he had ordered the parts for the signs for the rail trail on Canal Street, but he got the wrong parts. And he's reordered the parts, and I told him that once he gets those parts, I'm gonna get with them and we'll get those signs up too. So I think we might actually, those have been sitting in the shed way too long. So,
Yeah, I asked about the bike racks too, but he didn't respond to me.
mhm.
I asked him yesterday.
He told me that if you look at the two locations, there's one up by the pavilion and one by the rail trail, they like dug new holes for them. But nothing is filled for the bike racks,
So
but nothing's filled.
They're like cones over the holes or something?
What's that?
Are there like cones over the holes?
Yeah. Yep.
Good.
All right, so
There's also, though, it's supposed to be a third rack that was going to be down by the playground and tennis courts that we were waiting on at the time years ago. That we were waiting on the like the playground equipment stuff to be done.
Yeah,
So there's actually a third 7 bike rack in storage in the village somewhere.
And on that note, there's ADA equipment for the playground at Berm that still hasn't been installed by the Village Streets Department. They have assured us that it's going to be installed by July 1st. They sort of said that they were waiting on the area that they now have to take apart, which is like the broken wooden structure, to install those, but I believe that they were supposed to be installed in another location. So anyway, they're gonna work with the town streets department to help install those in the next month.
That'll be great when that's all done.
Yeah.
So there's more equipment to be bought too, right?
So we have an $80,000 grant that we still haven't received the funds for. I believe Mayor Trent is also applying for a play grant that would increase those funds so that we can get a larger unit. But they do have example units and a plan of action if we don't get the play grant to move forward with the 80,000. And it would be for older kids, and the equipment that is there would be more for like toddlers and the younger kids.
There should be more money too, right? What's the gentleman's name again?
Mark?
Glusac and the Meyer, I forget what councilman he is, but the two of them combined, I believe, was the 80,000.
Okay.
Whatever happened, Tori, wasn't there some money set aside for the parking lot at the waterfall, and then Evan was gonna maybe do some sort of referendum or something to redirect that money into the playground? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I
Yeah.
don't, but I will ask him.
Grand. Was it 50?
yeah.
I think it was $50,000 that was originally going to be to improve that parking lot. And then obviously nobody really wants that. And he had suggested maybe trying to get that money redirected into the park. But I don't know. I don't know where that landed.
I'll follow up with him this week about that.
Okay, thank you.
So is the $80,000 the private funding from those two donors, or is there a grant? I thought there was a grant somewhere from Ulster County for playground stuff.
I can confirm this, but I believe the 80,000 is from the two donors.
I see. Okay.
And the other money is the play grant that we are applying for. But don't quote me on that. I just know that 80,000 is in our budget for this year. And it's anticipated, which means we haven't received it yet.
Oh,
But didn't we go down to the?
was it 80 and 40, something like that?
Somebody, wasn't there, we had a picture down there with some
Yeah.
people.
Yeah,
from Kingston.
Brian Moore.
Right.
Yeah.
Is he back? He was deployed for a while.
Yeah.
So Brian and Mark were donating in tandem. Let me follow up with Mayor Trent about that as well, just so we have the final numbers. Sorry, and I will email you guys.
Yeah, Tori, because the town and the village were gonna kick money in also. That was part of the deal too.
Yeah, because it was matching.
It was a matching thing. The
With
town
that.
had the money in, the village was gonna put money in.
Well, I wonder if Mark Glusack was the match. But I'll follow up. I'll let you guys know this week.
Thanks, Tori.
Anything else on the rail trails or the parks?
Does anybody know the status of the Joe Steckler Memorial, the golf course, basically?
Because then it's up and running.
Yeah.
Tori would have to chime in.
So we are looking into putting a requirement in the deed that if it was ever to be sold, it would remain public property or open space, sorry.
Conservation easement?
Yes.
Exactly, yes. So that is what we're looking at right now. We're looking at potential operators for the golf course, but quite frankly, a lot of the village's time and bandwidth is taken up by running a golf course that's not very functional. So the priority is to get back to our main services and hopefully get this into hands that can make it something that's successful. But the first step is that conservation easement, potentially parceling out of the building versus the land. But this all has to go through the legislators, and we're working on it. In the meantime, I have reached out to Honors Haven about a sign for the golf course on 209 on their side. I'm waiting to hear back for confirmation if they're allowing us to put up a sign there, because we really don't even have any street visibility ushering people to that direction. Those are my updates.
Good. Is that, who would hold that easement? Is there a land trust or something?
I don't know if they want to hold.
I mean, we spoke with OSI. This was another thing that Mayor Trent is working on. We don't have it yet, but I think he's still in talks with and making sure that the appropriate people at the county would be open to us allowing us to do that too.
There doesn't need to be a referendum on that, does there, by chance?
I mean, if they're selling it, they use public funds to buy it, right?
Yes.
So,
To put the conservation easement on it, do you need a referendum?
I mean, if they're transferring it, I mean, from public ownership to a private ownership, I'm sure there's gonna have to be some kind of process.
Yeah.
I can look into that. And I think too, we were also initially looking at whether or not the town would be interested in taking it over. But it does not look to be that way.
Has anybody checked with Ulster County? When you look around here, you know, it's much less typical to have a municipal golf course and much more common to have county golf courses now. I know Ulster County doesn't have much of a parks department per se, but I don't know if anybody's talked to them, that could be a fit.
I think that's a great idea, Hank. I'm not sure if anyone's talked to the county about it, so that should be on the board.
Anything else on any of the parks or the trail? Not really, and no movement, I'm assuming, on the village section then either, right?
Sorry, what did you say?
What do you mean?
The rail trail section,
Yeah,
Oh,
I have no idea what's going on with that.
probably paid for the time being. right?
Does anybody know anything about that? The village grant funded section from like the sewer plant to Burn Road Park?
I mean, the last I heard, I feel like Evan, I'm just looking at my email because I think he had written something about it.
Is that something you think the county would jump on too then? Hank, or no?
They're involved in it because it's a federally funded
Another one?
grant, so they're the money behind it, so they're players in it.
I mean, for now, until OSI's plan comes out, I'm assuming we have no inkling that they're gonna just use, sewer plant road or whatever you wanna call it, Edwards Place, and then go through. Right?
Yeah, I mean, the OSI plan, I don't know which one they actually picked, but they had, you know, basically the route they had for the O and W kind of bypassed Burn Road Park and came into the village. And then there was a couple different potential routes south through the village and south. So it would be a spur trail, so to speak, but an important one because it links all the trails at Minnewaska with the rail trail.
Yeah, right, at Sam's Point, yeah.
I don't know what the status, I can't find, like an update on the status. I
I
feel like
remember the last thing we heard was from the engineer who was like the lead on the design team, and there was some kind of a hold on the federal funding. It's going back like a year, I'd say. That's what
Yeah.
the last thing I remember.
That's Plow Harbor.
Cloud Harbor.
Plow Harbor.
let me look for them.
Is this the bridge that we're talking about?
It's the route from the current rail trail entrance over by the softball fields, like across the fields and then over to the canal, the historic canal building.
Mhm.
So
Which
it
we
would not
got funding
require a
for
bridge?
like 20 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, if it's requiring a bridge, I believe the amount of money that we have is nowhere near the
Mhm.
amount of money it would take to fulfill that project.
Yeah, yeah. I think that
No, I don't think it has a bridge. There's a culvert, where you.
there is a culvert. Yeah.
There's no bridge.
It's not like a major
And
bridge.
it is definitely underfunded, which you would expect because it's a budget from 20+ years ago.
The issue that we ran into when Martin and I were looking into this more actively was that we've already used some ungodly amount of money to do nothing. Sorry for my dry rapport on this topic, but I'm extremely jaded on it. But we had used some hundred thousands of dollars and would potentially be on the line to have to give it back.
Project's not completed, yeah.
Because we didn't do anything. And so I don't know where that stands. I mean, I think the last I had really been pushing on it was about a year ago.
Yeah,
Did they have to redo their contract or something? Is that what it was with Plow Harbor? What was? There was something there. They had to redo some paperwork or something.
yeah, it was something to do on the federal end, and the last that we heard was a year ago. And maybe I have time to pick that up. Could you forward me the name of the guy who's in charge of the design at Cloud Harbor?
Sure, I'm
Uh,
gonna forward you a few things, Hank, because
Yeah,
there was
I'll
also
pick that
this
up.
other, there was somebody at Ulster County really trying to get funding for this. I think last May, I just forwarded you that. I'm gonna forward you
Yeah.
a few different things, because if you have, obviously, as you can hear in my voice, this has like killed my soul, the lack of progress with this. But
I love bureaucracy so much.
then I would so be happy for you to take up. I just feel like we need to be a squeaky wheel,
Yeah, always.
and I can't really do it on this. I mean, this is like 3 years of depressing stuff for me. So if you love it, please,
Oh,
I'll forward you some stuff.
Thank you.
He's got a ton of the world too, correct? All right, so I guess we've exhausted the rail trails and parks. Move on to the dog park if you have any update, Alina.
I actually just am waiting for Evan to get back to me on scheduling this walkthrough with the trustees. I guess I need to chase him again.
Well, the weather's
Um,
broken to the.
Well,
break-
unfortunately, we missed the window when like now that stuff has grown, it's going to be really hard to get in there. So I'm a little bummed because the winter is actually the best time to go see the site because you can actually walk into it. But
Great.
anything is better than nothing. And I just need to like push him on. I just never heard back from him after asking for a few dates.
We were spending a majority of our time on the budget the last couple months.
Mhm.
We've agreed on the budget. So I think it's a good time to follow up. I will
Okay.
say that as a trustee, I want to see some real movement on the playground money that we're supposed to be receiving and an understanding of what's going to be there for the kids before we re-release this dog park momentum.
I
So
kind of agree. I love the dog park, but I don't know. I guess
Sure,
I'm
let's just shelve it. I mean, I'm not I have no like there was an opportunity to kind of do it without any taxpayer money, but like the degree of non-interest from the village trustees just makes me feel like there's no point in pushing on it if people feel like that dependency exists, like it's an either or. So if that's the case, then I think we should just set it aside.
it's unfortunate because I think that we like Ellenville deserves nice things.
Mm-hmm.
But you'll see as far as the residents go, and maybe it's just a small portion, but even with the Head Start closing, there were
Yeah.
comments, oh, but let's put a dog park. And so we're just in a very precarious time where we really do need to be investing in the kids, even though our recreation tax money goes to the town. And we need to prove that. I think alongside, because unfortunately it has been a this or that, and it shouldn't be, but it is.
Yeah, I mean, I really want to encourage you to try to take action as fast as you can, Tori. The thing that's frustrating is like Mark Gluzak came to us, 3.5 years ago or something like that, desperate to give money for the playground. And so for a community that says that it's such a priority, actually delivering on it seems to be really difficult. And
Well,
so it doesn't add up to me.
of course, I think if this board, the Parks and Recs Committee, is more empowered with the correct numbers and status of these projects, you can help push the village and the town forward. Because the village is operating at a very small staffing level right now, and there's larger fires to put out, and that's not a great great thing to say, but you guys as the Parks and Recs Committee, if you have the information, then you have the power.
What is that really? What I'm not sure I understand what you mean.
I guess we need to know how much money we have for the playgrounds. We need to have, like, I'm gonna do my best to get you guys statuses on everything that we're discussing here, but this is my first meeting and I was hoping that you guys would have some of this information as well.
Yeah, it's like, it would be cool as a Parks and Recreation Commission, which is what they call it, to know, like, if we're thinking of dispersing or getting rid of parklands like the golf course, it'd be useful to know that. You know, I'm glad we know it now. I just kind of heard it through the grapevine. So thanks so much for filling us in. But I think you raise a really good point about, the coordination between the elected officials and this commission, it could be stronger. Let's put it that way. That's what I'd say.
Yeah, it feels like that relationship building really needs to be a focus because we show up here every month at 8 a.m. and the vast majority of the time there's nobody from the village or the town coming the last couple of years.
Which is cool as long as they're reading the minutes and stuff. You know, that's.
And I hope to be there in person next month too. But yeah, I mean, honestly, the golf course, we're just looking at options because as it is now, it's not functioning well.
Right.
Yeah, that's good.
It gets a lot of traffic. There's a lot of people playing golf there, I noticed.
It
But that's
barely
not-
makes money though. I mean,
You know, it's not
the
gonna.
time I looked at it, it just barely, it made a little bit of money and that was it. And it's a lot of effort for really not a lot of return.
And I went and I tried to set up their POS system for this year. And there was a lot that I found with incorrect charging. I think operationally, the golf course, the greens, the grounds are run really nicely, but as a business, it's horrific.
We don't have a food operator in the building, right?
That's
For the-
correct.
Okay.
And the building, quite frankly, could be condemned.
Yeah.
You guys have been,
Gutted.
what'd you say, Debbie?
The building was gutted. The last tenant took everything out of it.
Yeah,
Mm.
and there was a new roof put on it, but if you've been in the basement, the electric is not up to code. There's the balcony in the back is falling apart. There's a lot.
That building's a mess. Hopefully we can find someone who will lease it, take it over and do something. I mean, it could be it's a beautiful course. It could be incredible.
We're just now looking into options and we will give you guys the options because we didn't even know if a conservation easement was possible.
You know, Victoria, from years of working in that business, that's why I asked it. It'd be unusual for a land preserve to hold an easement on a golf course. They're usually, from what I've seen, they're usually looking for land that's not as, developed or manicured as a golf course is. But it's a great possibility, I mean, because it's got incredible recreational importance and scenic importance, so. It's just, I've never heard of one of those deals, but that doesn't mean that it can't happen.
Well, look, I think if we were able to get an operator that would lease the property and be willing to invest in that building, that would be the ideal, but
Yeah.
That's how Walk Hills run in their municipal course. They
yeah,
have-
and we are looking into that as well.
Yeah, they have management, they do a good
Yes.
job.
There's no historic designation on that farmhouse, is there by chance?
I don't know. I mean, you got the
Then you're
cemetery
handcuffed, right? I mean, with what you can do with the building.
to a degree.
That's right.
Probably has never been applied for because the
Yeah,
members owned it and
Yeah,
they
that's
would have had no,
interest in that.
right.
It's not in a district or anything.
All right, I guess we've exhausted those topics. Any old business overlooked that we wanna?
Survey. Yeah, I mentioned in the minutes, I didn't reach out. I wanted to get a better idea from, now Joe was here for a little bit, beginning of the meeting, but, just get a better idea from, I mean, I could reach out to the same firms, different firms, but, they're only good for so long, so. it might
You don't
be
want to do
easier.
that unless
Yeah.
they know what the price range is and agree that they'll do it.
This is for Lippman again?
Yeah. Do you have any guess?
Is this for the bike?
I mean, it's changed over the years. Some things have gotten cheaper because they've gone to, fully GPS, but depending on what firm you're working with, it can range quite a bit. Like even the last time we went through this, there was like, several thousand between each quote.
Right. So what is this for?
The full survey of Lippman Park, there's kind of piecemeal of different surveys over the years, and one section has been surveyed in 100 years or something like that.
It's like, what, 5 parcels?
Yeah, 5 parcels, including the landfill parcel, that kind of.
You're looking at combining some of them possibly.
Yeah, probably we're into a park, like one solid park parcel, but a part of the landfill does encroach on what is now classified as parkland.
So we need to split those,
Yeah.
right? Landfill and park. But what were the price ranges? I don't recall now.
Well,
Was it like 12,000-15,000 bucks?
25 was one. I thought it was the high
Is that
one.
what it is?
The high one, maybe.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong.
It was 15 years ago, quote for $8,000,
From Men in Black, yeah.
and Terry was like, oh, no way, too much. Like,
Most states.
I mean, both budgets are kind of strained,
Yeah,
even the town budget.
Yeah.
The county that has the money. They're talking, what? Was it near 100 million surplus or something that the county had once? Possibly. Well, it's looking, any other old business that we need to,
I do want to try to get with Joe. I was told that I need to speak to Joe about the rocks in Bob Mangles Park. So I have not been his favorite person as of late, but I think things have calmed down. So I'm going to try to get in touch with him over the next month and see, I don't know, if those rocks have to stay there, if we can move them.
I'll try to dig up something. I did some research on those rocks a couple years ago when we were looking at that site for the dog park.
Yeah.
And I'll see if I have any details to forward you.
Okay. Yeah, I ended up talking to TJ randomly about it, and he actually had a lot of helpful information. So
Mike
But-
Jetter also is the designated
right.
person for the floodplain
Yeah.
work.
okay.
And so he is has a decent amount of knowledge about it.
Okay. Maybe I'll email the two of them then and just see. I just think that space is so beautiful. It really would be great if we could utilize it somehow.
Oh,
And
yeah,
can't with those rocks there, but
it's gorgeous.
yeah, I'm gonna try to get some time to talk to Joe about it.
anything.
Buried.
It is very.
Yeah. I knew it was pretty hefty.
Surveying's not cheap.
yeah, but it was a pretty broad range, I remember too.
Yeah, I mean, you go from, the private, John Post, who took forever to do the one.
Yeah.
So he was a little, he's a, lone operator, so he could do things on his own time. If you go up to like or the Judas, they got a bigger overhead. So it kind of all varies in that regard. Same thing, like Control Point that took over Brooks and Brooks, their prices skyrocketed for a while.
Yeah.
So
Did the Brooks get out of the business?
they're still there, but they're just,
All right, and then any new business to bring up. that We might get out of here early today.
Sorry, I know I'm not a member here. Can I just ask a question about the rocks? Is the problem you want to just remove them or you don't have an, want to do something with them?
I would like them removed. They've been there for a long time. It's basically just, I think, extra storage from when they did the floodplain or whatever that situation is down there, and they just sit there.
Yes, there's been no plan for.
Are these the ones that outline the parking lot, kind of?
No, it's the big pile of rocks. It's a big pile of rocks.
Rock Mountain,
yeah.
right as you pull in. Elliot,
And
I
they-
think, was working with the DEC.
Yeah,
And then I had talked to Elliot about it, but I was like, this information you're giving me is not very helpful. And then I ended up talking to TJ, and he's like, oh, you need to talk to Joe about it. And so I have to do that. But yeah, allegedly there, it's just like free storage for DEC or whoever's managed that project. And they just need to get them out of there. And it sounded like maybe they wanted the rocks too. So I don't know why they haven't gotten
I was gonna
them.
say, like,
Oh,
pay the rocks. So like,
Yeah, they're really good rocks. Like, I mean, if we could use them for something, it would be amazing. But the other thing is that there's tons of snakes and groundhogs. There's like a lot of wildlife living in those rocks that, isn't really ideal to have right next to a parkland.
Yeah. Oof.
So it's fine, that's a town-owned park within the village.
Yep.
It's just another wrinkle.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the rocks are technically not in the area of the botanical gardens.
They're in the
side there.
flood management area, basically, which has overlapping layers of jurisdiction up to federal, because it's a floodway, so it is complicated.
So where did the rocks come from originally though? I thought they showed up later, like when they were doing a road project or something.
Maybe it's from where they buried the elephant.
Maybe.
He is there.
Know that story?
I do not know this. I was making a joke. If there was an actual.
Yeah, it was-
elephant?
Elephant passed away, and when an elephant dies, it's just buried where it is.
Yeah.
So big.
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
Wow.
Quite a while, right? Decades.
60s, 50s, like that, yeah.
Wow. And it was there, or is that just like?
Right in that vicinity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found it from July of 2023. The bottom end was 13.5. That was from John Post. Top end was around 30.
Yeah.
That's a big difference.
Yeah. All right, gang, any new business? If not, we'll adjourn and hopefully next month, June 18th, we can get a quorum and Bonnie will be invite you to consider and join in.
So I'm not gonna, I wouldn't be able to attend in person on June 18th. That be in the city for work, but I could join by Zoom, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's fine. We do Zoom every month. So if you can have everyone that is available attend, even if it's not here. And if you're looking to be on the commission, you'll need to write a letter of interest to the village. And
You're a village resident?
Yes,
Mhm.
yeah, I live right on Maple Court by the school. And yeah, so just a little, I moved here 2 years ago with my family. I have 2 kids. One is just finishing up first grade at the school, and the other is at the Ellenville Nursery School right by those piles of rocks. But he'll be going to pre-K at the school in the fall. And I work in the city, but I mostly work from home. So I'm here and yeah, just looking to get involved in the community. I heard that there are some vacancies, so. I don't have any particular parks expertise, but I go to them a lot with my kids.
well, that's what we need is to pay on the commission is people that actually are there.
I'll try and zoom in. I'm gonna be in the wilderness, but I got a Starlink now, so. we'll get-
Ooh, where are you going to be, Hank?
The Gaspé Peninsula of Quebec.
Cool.
Nice. Sounds lovely.
Looking forward to it.
I think my appointment's up this year.
You know what I never asked at the beginning of the meeting? Was who would do the minutes for this meeting?
Have you ever thought about using the Zoom minutes? I don't know, does it count this as?
Doesn't work because you don't know who's speaking. It's kind of a nightmare.
Oh, right, 'cause
Yeah, if we were all remote, it would work, but
I don't know if it's getting better with AI. We tried it a few years back. Maybe it's a little better, but I don't know.
it's good, but it's not going to be able to recognize the individual speakers. Like we could though adapt our process a little bit where we just kind of announce who's speaking. And that's one way we could like at least it's not the best, but it would pick that up and we could at least have that in the minutes.
If somebody would still have to edit them, but
Yeah, it takes, I mean, it turns out a lot of verbiage, so there's a lot of, it's like
you got
getting maple syrup from the sack, it's there's a lot to glue it down, so.
Yeah, and our
All
board.
right, I'll do these minutes since I didn't ask at the beginning, I'll do these minutes
Thank you. Thanks
for next meeting. All right, with that, I guess we'll adjourn.
Okay.
Thanks for attending, we had full attendance, basically.
Thanks for letting me sit in.
No
Thanks for
problem.
considering joining, definitely.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tori, for coming. That was super helpful having
Yeah,
you.
so glad to have you, Tori.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for doing this.
Yeah.
I'll be a better
But
advocate
my
for this stuff
meeting,
at the board
so-
meetings, but I know Elena, if you're ever able to attend too.
My
anyway.
husband's on the 4th of July.
Rex
Yeah.
maybe.
Just have
But
it
right
right
now,
here.
it's TJ that we,
Yeah,
so-
yeah.
Just let me know you're ready, you're done, because I'm gonna hit the end here.
So, yeah, looking for ways to, get engaged.